This is it. This is the video. One of my longest video currently running on this channel is the Competition 5 map review. This video took like a month, more than a month to make. So genuinely, I really hope it will be great. You can just like, subscribe, hit that bell. Because honestly, this took so long to do. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to make this. The audio recording, it was also a lot of fun to make this. I genuinely hope that you'll have a good time hearing my voice. Not your friend's voice. But yeah. I just enjoy the rest of the video. And we're gonna jump off right into the first competition map, Apex. First up, we have Apex. First competition map for competition 5.0. So the gameplay is generally pretty great. It's quite readable. It's a little stunk in some areas. That's mainly just it. The details are generally amazing. I love it, especially for a stud map. It has a pretty smart-ish metal. I mean, like, the puddles and one of the ways to get it is kind of confusing. But that's just really it. And it's pretty beginner friendly. Ish, not really. But the map overall is pretty beginner friendly. And you should definitely play this map. So give it a try. Alright, now the second map here is Predom Remnants. It's a pretty enjoyable map in general. It's great for an easy, pretty replayable in general. The gameplay though is just, well, okay, for the most part in general. It's quite unforgiving for an easy map, that's for sure. Detail-wise, it's great. I love the bone structures and everything. Could be a little bit more exotic and less bland, in my opinion. The metal's honestly not that great. I don't really like the vines, how they integrated the wall jump. But overall, it's a pretty beginner friendly map, I guess. It's a decent map. That's just really it. Alright, now for the third map, we have Homestead Highlands. Gameplay wise, it's pretty fun, honestly. I love the goat mechanic, is pretty great. I don't know if that's really beginner friendly, in my opinion. It's not really like something that I will honestly say that a lot of beginner players will enjoy. But for at least for me, it was pretty fun. So I'll give it that. Design and detail, it's basically your basic typhoon detail. It's decent looking. It's pretty great. I feel like it focuses more a lot on macro details compared to micro details, that's just my opinion. And then the metal, it's pretty okay. I mean, it tells you how much wood you need to collect. Well, yeah, that's just really it. I just do not understand why the first one's all the way in the back of the house in the spawn. That's just annoying. Alright, and now we have Drained Abyss. This is an amazing map. I love Drained Abyss, actually. It's an amazing map. I love the gameplay. Really fun map in general. There are a few minor nitpicks I have, which is mainly with the zipline, and then one of the thrusters that I really have, and somewhat of the pacing. Besides that, it's really fun. Definitely try this one out. Even the details are pretty great. They're a little bland, but it's fine. The metal path though is pretty simple, but I don't know if I really would say it's pretty beginner friendly. But besides the metal path, the map itself is very beginner friendly. So definitely try this one out. You can. Alright, and next map is Train Rush. Another banger, really. I love this map so much. That's probably one of the most enjoy. Okay, let's try this again. I love this map. One of the most rejoy. Did I do it again? Alright, third time's the charm. I love this map. Most replayable and most enjoyable map in the competition, at least in my opinion. I genuinely really like this one. So sad that honestly the details and the design is pretty okay. It's not nothing amazing, but it's there. It's solid. I'll give it that. Metal score is pretty well done. And it took me a while to find, that's one thing for sure. But is the map beginner friendly? Absolutely. Go for it. Next up, Pursuit. Great map, honestly. I didn't really like this before. I honestly didn't quite enjoy it a bit before, but as time passed, it's honestly just one of those maps where you genuinely just have to play more and more the map once you beat it for the first time, and then it will get like really enjoyable and really fun. Pursuit's a very learning map, that's for sure. It's great. It's a great map in gameplay. It's pretty confusing in my opinion because, well, you can say that from a power map. Details and design is generally kind of like it looks very similar to like verticality and insane map. But yeah, it's pretty nice. Metal score is pretty genius. I like how you have to be faster in the first tower in order to get it. So overall, I think it's a pretty beginner-friendly map. I think this now has a really good chance to be in the top 10 for sure. Alright, next map we have is Fantasy. It's a great map in general. I think it's pretty beginner friendly as well. Metal score is okay. I really do not understand the placement. But it's a great map, especially for a first map. It's great. Definitely one of my favorite maps in the competition. So yeah, definitely give this one a shot. Alright, so the next map we have is World 1-1. It's a pretty great map in general. This is probably one of my favorite maps. I'll be admitted, I did play this early, so I really don't have much to say about the gameplay. It's pretty good though, that's for sure. The design and details, as you can see, it's basically a Mario map. So, and genuinely it's amazing. Also, Parky! Metal score is great. Very beginner friendly map. Try this one out for sure. vying for the 9th installment of the Star Wars saga, Under the Twin Suns by Mario Tenai. And in general, this map is amazing. Very amazing map. Flows very well. Easily a Mario Tenai certified banger. It's not replayable in my opinion, but it's not super boring either. That's for sure. Design and details, yo, just look at the map, honestly, just look at it. And the medal score, amazing medal score. I think it's a very beginner friendly map in general. I definitely would love to see this one in the top 10 for sure. Hey guys, do you like to Limbo? I'm sorry, but there's no like Limbo mechanic, there's no key mechanic here. It's so boring, guys. It's such a trash map. No, I'm just kidding. This map's actually really fire. The gameplay is perfect. Honestly, I really have like no complaints at it at all. Very beginner friendly too, for sure. It's a little unforgiving, but I will excuse it for its gameplay. It does have pretty awkward jumps though. Maybe I guess I'll say there's some parts maybe, but besides that, it's a very simple map. Details are also very simple. Gameplay is very simple. Battle is pretty simple, and that, in my opinion, makes it a pretty beginner-friendly map. So go play this one for sure. Oh boy, Reality's End, guys. I definitely would put this below par for most maps. It's a pretty mixed bag, that's for sure. The gameplay, especially, where there's a lot of like decently well done jumps compared to some jumps which I just do not understand why they exist. There are a lot of over jumps though, and some of the gameplay is quite a little awkward. That we can really just say. Details and designs are also not that great. Lacks a lot of polish for sure. But again, this is the first map, so I can kind of excuse the details being not so polished. And to be fair, it's much better compared to most first maps creators, especially me. So, but I'll give you honest, it's pretty beginner friendly compared to most maps, that's for sure. As if you look in the document below, I gave it a C rating. And it's definitely just not the worst for beginners, but it's definitely not the best. That's really just really it. And medal score is pretty much just fine. I like the concept. The Green Room's gameplay though could be 10 times better. That is 100% for sure. Alright, and yeah, that's really just it about Reality's End. Just enjoy the rest of the video, guys. Alright, now for the 12th installment, Data Drift. Honestly, this is a really amazing and outstanding map. The gameplay, the details are just so spot on. That is 100% for sure. And I can say. The medal score, it's at the end of the map, guys. Roll the Daydreamer Strip, guys. That's really just it. So, yeah, the medal map did take me a lot of tries to do, and it was somewhat worth it. And honestly, yeah, that's really just it. It's a good map though for the beginner friendly players. It is great for beginner friendly score wise. That is for sure. But yeah, do not get confused though. Data Drift is the blue map. Drift is the orange map, guys. Another banger! Another banger! Botanic Garden is a banger! The 13th installment, and it's probably one of my favorite maps in the game. This is amazing. The gameplay, it's so amazing. Like, I genuinely have basically no complaints about the gameplay. It was very enjoyable for basically every single part. Details and designs, I mean, it does look like your average training map, especially like Fever Dream, the blue maybe. But overall, it's really amazing as well. I really like the details and design. I do think the ending could be better, but that's just really it. The medal score, I give it a B plus in the document, and it's mainly because it's just a spot, really. It's just like, yeah, basically been already took the entire time. It's pretty short. Yeah, wow. There we go. That's the end of the map. Alright, and now we have Typhoon's second submission, Undersea Infiltration. First of all, the metal spot is pretty goofy, but I like it. Design and detail wise, it's amazing. Again, this is one of those Typhoon maps where basically macro details more prioritized over micro detail. But it makes sense in general when it comes to this case. That's just really it. Now for gameplay and enjoyability, it's pretty enjoyable, pretty great gameplay, a little bit of walking, but it's great. Definitely try this one out. Very beginner friendly as well. Typhoon, excellent job. No way, guys. Acro made a map that's not a facility. Anyways, Lucid Odyssey is a banger. I love this one so much. And this is such an amazing map to play. It's very linear though, but it makes absolutely a lot of sense, which is great. There are some jumps I feel a little bit scuffed, and pretty weird to play. But and the pacing is also pretty much non-existent. However, besides that, this is probably one of my favorite maps in the competition. If not, probably like top 3 in my opinion, that's for sure. So yeah, it's a really great map, great scenery, great atmosphere, great details, great design. Actually, scratch everything that says great and just replace it with amazing, and that's what this map is. It's amazing. The metal score is great as well. I did forget the speed pad, but it's great as well. I don't mind it. And actually, I have a little story to tell with this map. I played this with a friend who basically did not know this game, and I showed him this map, and he managed to beat it in like 5 attempts. Which is actually pretty surprising because all the other maps that we played took like around like 20, 30 attempts, maybe even 50 attempts. But yeah, this map is really, really beginner friendly. So I definitely really love to see this map in the game for sure. Alright, we are halfway through the video, and the next map is the Shifting Sandland. It's a good map though. I love the sand mechanic, it's pretty creative, that's for sure. But if it's really beginner friendly, I'm not really that sure. That's just really it. Mechanics in general are pretty non-beginner friendly, depending on how you use them. But yeah, that's really just my opinion. Design and details, they're good. They're pretty good. Nothing amazing. They're quite bland, but it's good. I really don't have much complaints. It's pretty simple in general. So yeah, definitely give this one a try. Alright, and now we're in Dustar Labyrinth. This is technically me and Epic's map, so I'm not really gonna say my opinions about it. So I guess just enjoy the video. Next up, we have Ecosphere 9 Greenhouse Sanctum. Honestly, this map is pretty great. It's really relaxing for an evening map, and honestly, I didn't really think it was anything that bad. The design and details were there. They're a little off sometimes, but like besides that, it's pretty great. The metal spot is really decent. I do not mind the metal spot, but I do think this is very friendly, and I do think this has a really good shot into getting the top 10 or maybe even top 5. And next up, we have Twilight Castle. Honestly, I had low expectations for this map. I genuinely thought this was probably like gonna be one of those maps that were just like there, I guess, if you know what I'm saying. But this actually turned out to be probably one of my favorite maps in the game. I'm surprised how extremely good this map is in general. The gameplay maybe is not that great, but it's really fun to play, and I genuinely have so much fun playing this map. It's very learning too, so that's another thing that I just need to mention. The design, the details, they're just there. They're executed really well. we officially have 10 more maps to go, and the next map we have is Spiritual Serenity. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one. This map was kind of not that great. There's so many annoying, confusing things. There's so much scuffed gameplay, very unpolished gameplay, and in general, I do not like how the metal path works because of how extremely buggy and rigged the metal path really is. The details of these are great. I mean, I couldn't give it the same rating as Apex, as you can see in the documents. I mean, there are only a few nitpicks which I have because sometimes Spiritual Serenity can feel just a little bit messy, but that's just really it. And yeah, I guess it's beginner friendly. I really can't really say much. Do you like riding a spaceship? I sure do. Swiatsky 5 is the gameplay map of all time. It's the competition map of all time. And in general, it's such a weird map. And it's generally such a map that it's just, yeah, it's a map. Because I work day and night, brick by brick, I built a pyramid. Yeah. It's my favorite map, trust guys. Just a lot of can't collide true detail everywhere. Such an amazing map.
I work day and night. Brick by brick, I build the pyramid. I built it with my own hands. And I live and die by the pharaoh, and so will you.
I am also not going to give my opinions on this because I also have worked on this map. So yeah, enjoy. Electronic Sea is next. Another great map, honestly. I can really just say that. It's a little repetitive sometimes, but from the creator who also created the wood, this map is genuinely amazing. I really would love to see this in the top 10, that is for sure, because of how the detail, the design are pretty distinct from like Lucid Odyssey, but yet again still has the good vaporwave theme. The lighting could be a little better, that's my opinion, but I do think the design and details are really great. Metal score is really nice. There's some hints for it, there's a good spot for it. I really like the metal spot. And again, this is a pretty beginner friendly map. You can just play it yourself. Obviously you have to be some easy hard maps to get to this one, but I do think this is pretty beginner friendly. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Ah, clown party, oh boy. I had so much fun in this one. Honestly, it could be a lot better, that's for sure. The detail, the designs are amazing, that is one thing. It's a little bland sometimes and feels pretty unfinished in some areas, especially the clown area, which makes sense because I think the creator has said it was unfinished. Correct me if I'm wrong, by the way. But the gameplay is very subpar. I genuinely didn't really have a lot of enjoyability when it comes to this map. It was very confusing, it was very awkward. A lot of can't collect true details. It's genuinely not a great map, in my opinion. However, I do love the concept, and there are some really great gameplay elements, like the circus part in general. I really found that really fun. So yeah, this could be beginner friendly, that's for sure, but I have no idea. Pretty much the gameplay is really super beginner friendly. I can't really say myself. And now we have reached our final 5, starting with Wandering Memory. Honestly, this is a pretty great easy map. This is a very forgetting easy map. The metal spot is absolutely genius. I love the metal spot. It was a really fun to find that one. The design and details could be a little bit better because there is a lack of polish and sometimes it could be a little bland, but in general, it's still great. I do think post-competition it should get some touch up on some details, but that's just really it. It's a very beginner friendly map as well, and I would definitely recommend this map for like a starter map for some new players, and that's what I just generally think. Alright, Dark Mechanism is next. Honestly, this map is amazing. I absolutely love this map. Honestly, there's a lot of walking, yeah, but the speed that you go on kind of makes it up for it, definitely. The two paths in general that the map has definitely makes up replayability, but it's kind of a little bit of a cheap way to make a replayability. But even then, the paths themselves are pretty great at replayability, so I can't really say about replayability as much, because it's pretty good in general. That's for sure. Honestly, the gameplay is very straightforward. There's a lot of signage and indication. The only thing that I really think that could be better is the bottom part, because the indication kind of slacks a bit there. But the map itself is really great. The metal score is okay, I guess. You just click 3 generators, that's just really it. And yeah, this is definitely a really beginner-friendly map. I can really definitely say. Definitely, it's a great map. But the problem is definitely not a map for, especially for low-end players. That's definitely for sure. I'm just get to you short and straight. This is an absolutely amazing map. I absolutely love this map, especially from how it's inspired from GD. Gameplay, the design details is genuinely amazing. The transitions are absolutely spot on. Everything's just spot on. There are a few buggy things which kind of ruin the gameplay enjoyability a bit, but in general, it's an amazing map. The only unfortunate thing I would just say is that this is not good at all. But that's just my opinion. Alright, and next up, and the second to last, will be Ariadis, the star, the beyond. How do you spell that? Anyways, yeah, Ariadis. So excuse me by the way if I say it wrong. The star beyond the horizon. Yeah. So this map, amazing. Also, genuinely, I love this map as well. Design and details are absolutely beautiful and spot on. Few little nitpicks I have. We can look in the document for more info. Gameplay and enjoyability, I genuinely think this is definitely one of my favorite maps when it comes to this. Another absolute sidey banger. And as well, one more thing, this is the only map of the competition with an OST, which means I get to rank it, haha. Yeah, but honestly, this OST really fits the map very well. I love it. Absolutely love it. You can definitely listen to this over and over again. And yeah, this is a really good beginner-friendly map, and definitely, you should definitely give this one a try, for sure. And for our final map of the day, we have Timer. Oh boy. Okay, honestly, this is a funny map because it was literally made in 9 hours. But even then, it is absolutely fun as hell to play. I genuinely really like this map. The metal spot is pretty great in general. It's generally a pretty basic metal spot, but it fits well. And yeah, this is a really great map. I genuinely like it. It's a great map to end up the competition. It's also pretty beginner friendly. Definitely give this one a try out. And that's all the competition maps review, beat in with their metal paths, and completed. I genuinely had so much fun doing this in general, because most of the maps in general are absolutely amazing to play. That is 100% I can definitely say. Competition 5 has probably been one of the best when it comes to map quality, because of how amazing, how easily you can see so many people just improve from all how they just map make and everything like that. Honestly, once again, this is all my opinions. You all have different opinions that you can all agree with me or disagree with me on, and that is completely fine. Just make sure that, you know, my opinions will not, make you want to unsubscribe and everything. So yeah, honestly, I really don't have much to say. Just make sure to hit the notification bell, like, subscribe, share the video, comment on the video. That would be greatly appreciated, honestly. And we thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate it. Peace out.